Right, Adam. So we're just going to recap the stuff we did yesterday. Um, so first of all, we spoke about just briefly about posture. So as I said, posture. The only thing you really need to get right about is just to make sure your body is not in its own way. So kind of up reasonably straight, shoulders back a bit, and make sure there's no restriction here. So you can just, move freely wherever you need to. And then the breathing. So yeah, getting used to the belly breathing, right? So just kind of let the abdominals relax, let them kind of hang out, straight in and out. So the exercises I gave you for that were in for 3, out for 5, and make sure you're full by the 3 and completely empty by the 5. And then the other ones were in for 5, out for 8, in for 7, out for 11. And on top of those as well, it's just quick in and out. So where you're trying to reach that stretch as quickly as possible. And you should always be kind of pushing against that a little bit. Okay, so another point we made was the difference between the hard and soft voices. So for example, She's Electric was the example we were using. So you've got, on the one hand, she's electric. And then on the other, she's electric. Now, there's not really much of a difference in terms of airflow between the two of them, but obviously one is much louder than the other. So you just need to kind of take a single note. Once you start moving things around, just mostly in your mouth and your throat, the amount of different tones you've got available to you. So just kind of explore that and try to tend towards the harder tones, particularly on the lower notes, because that'll make them kind of pop out a little bit more. And the other point then we made was getting your, as I put it, getting your mouth around the words. So, it's not she's electric, it's she's electric. Just kind of animate your mouth, basically, and that will get the words off a bit better. So other than that, then I said I'd give you a scale as well, just to warm up with just for... She's Electric. So first of all, by the way, always give yourself the first note. So if you've got the guitar and you're playing that, you're going to get the first note from the first fret on the 3rd string. So that's the 3rd note in the scales, which we'll do now. So we'll start off here. And again, try to project it as much as you can. Always discrete notes, so no don't ramp up to it. So there's the E major scale over 1 octave. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember to get your face into it as well. So I'll give you that one more time. And a good sustain at the end as well. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is the and I want you to know. So it's all relative, okay? So the last thing you're going to be singing is, and I think she likes me. So the and I is a good bit higher than that, right? So it's not and I, it's and I, she likes me, and I want. So again, and I, and be sure the first note, and I want. And you can feel that top note coming from your head, right? Almost kind of through your nasal passages, almost. And using that airflow to keep the note up there. It is quite high, but with that falsetto, that kind of almost broken voice. And what? So it's not what? It's not full voice. It's just almost like a whisper. And what? You can kind of feel it up here, right? And just repeat it a couple of times and then go for the whole line and see how you get on. So, to sum it up, breathing exercises, the belly, just generally get used to that kind of breathing. You've got the hard and soft voice, just explore, take one note and, the amount of different sounds you can get out of one note is crazy. So just explore that and get more familiar with it and get familiar with the feeling of it as well. these different tones, and always err on the side of too loud for now. For now, while we're just kind of finding that projection. And okay, let me know how you get on. I'll see you next time.